Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading for big life changes coming your way, coming to you, coming into your life. So we are going to have a look and see what these big changes are. So we have these three wonderful groups, group 1, group 2 and group 3. Whichever one you're most drawn to, perhaps it's the crystals, the cards or the number of the groups, that is going to be your reading. And then you can check out the timestamps in the description box below and you can watch your reading. So I also wanted to mention as well, again, thank you so much for all of the love and support on my channel. It means so much to me. We are almost at 300,000 subscribers, which I think is crazy. But yes, thank you so much. Just want to remind you as well, my way of giving back, especially to those of you who are unable to purchase private readings, like paid readings or anything from the Etsy store, is, you know, it's totally fine. So I do a free reading giveaway every single month. So there's a whole way in which you can enter for that, and it's all in the description box below. For those of you that would like a personal paid reading with me, private reading, then all the information's always in the description box below. They're done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention is my intention items are on Etsy. So there's handmade manifesting items like handmade bracelets, necklaces, anklets, pom-poms, tassels, embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, your wallet or your purse. Check out the review section to see how other people have seen results with these items. There's also face masks, crystals, divination coins, charms, pendulums, bowls, yeah, there's a whole bunch of things on there. Link is in the description box below, and everything is pretty much there. So do check it all out if you are interested in those items. Everything's linked down below, and we are going to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this back a little bit, like so. And let's move these decks to the side too. Okay. Alright, group number 1. Let's have a look and see what big life changes are coming to you. We're going to have a look. So you have chosen this beautiful white crystal. Just look how stunning. Let's just put that right here. You can't even see it. There we go. That's much better. Like that. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to look at tarot, we're going to look at charms, letters, and we've got some really exciting oracle cards as well. Some oracle cards that I haven't really used on my channel, so let's take a nice little look into everything and see what is coming through on your cards, and also what messages I can give to you as well. So we will definitely get started straight away. And let's take a little look and see what is coming through. All right. Big life changes coming to group 1. Big life changes. Ten of Wands, out with the old. Out with the old. Star with the Knight of Swords. There you go. You know, Star is healing. Star is releasing. Star is also, well, the Star is also about letting go of something from the past in order to welcome something new with the Knight of Swords. So this can also be to do with things from childhood that really upset you, or perhaps some of you felt really invisible, some of you felt very helpless. That's the Ten of Wands as well. Ten of Wands can also be a burden that you've carried with you for a very long time, or even a short period of time. It's a burden essentially that has just really taken over your mind, your soul, your spirit, your joy, your happiness, and there's a change. Now, there is one thing, right, that has really affected I would say just about everyone, and that has also been the pandemic, right? So that has influenced, or not influenced, but it's really affected people in so many different ways, whether it's been career-wise, whether it's been financially, whether it has been emotionally, mentally, health-wise, so physically, right? Or even socially, spiritually, emotionally. In all so many ways, it has affected so many people. And I do feel like one of the big life changes coming will be sort of like a breakthrough, which I do feel will come at some point. And I also feel here, though, these are also other things that you've sort of kept within yourself, or that you felt you could never really perhaps get through. You'll get through those particular moments, because the star is definitely about releasing and healing, but the star is also this continuous flow. So continue to do what you're doing and you'll start to see a change with time. It's like the wheel, right? The wheel keeps turning and eventually you get somewhere, right? Abundance happens. It's like when you get in a car, you will get somewhere, and you may not see yourself getting there in the first couple of minutes, but then eventually you will get somewhere, right? So that's something to keep in mind here. And the Knight of Swords definitely does show an energy of growth, progression, going towards things that are really suited towards you. So we'll see what else is coming through. Sorry, also I just knocked over another pile of cards that I just had on the side, so let me just clear those, otherwise, the thing is, they'll probably end up falling on the floor. Okay, let's continue on and see what else we have. I'd say this is a big life change, because technically when you heal from something, a weight gets lifted off of you, right? A huge weight. And that can actually allow you to feel so much better about your goals. It can allow you to feel so much more energized towards doing the things that you really have wanted to do, rather than being held back. Now, there could have also perhaps been, for some of you, family or friends that held you back from your goals and your dreams. And it seems to me like they will let you do what you want now. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Not so much like holding you back. So we've got here the Hierophant, which is all to do with stability. You've got the Five of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this deck is called the Divine Feminine Tarot, for those of you wondering. Illustrations are beautiful. Okay, Three of Wands, and Ten of Pentacles. Lovely, lovely. You know, your thumbnail literally had that huge pentacle and pentacles as well, right? So plural. I feel like there's a lot of abundance that will come your way, slowly but surely. You may not feel it all straight away. You may not feel it all happening straight away, but it is coming, right? So the Five of Wands here shows that at times you may feel conflicted, you may feel chaotic, you may not feel like you know where you're going, but trust me when I say there is a path and a purpose, and there are things that will progress towards you and for you, and I really do feel that things will manifest. You may not feel like things are manifesting, you may not feel like things are getting anywhere, but I definitely feel here that it is about slow growth and progress. So you know, the Star is also a really strong energy about going with the flow, living in the path of least resistance, trying not to force things, just allowing things to happen, allowing things to flow, feeling your emotions. The big life change that I feel here is, number one, it's this weight being lifted off of your shoulders from something from the past. It is a lot of healing, which leads to positive energy, right? Energy that allows you to go towards the goals and the dreams that perhaps you've been holding off for a while. This in turn creates another big life change, which is stability, inner stability, and also stability in your home life. When the universe sees this kind of stability, the universe wants to give you more, because the energy really attracts more stable energy, right? So that's another big life change. And the Hierophant here also shows peace and authority. So this sense of you being in control rather than feeling out of control. That's another big life change. The Five of Wands can also show here that you might also feel confused when you get to this point, because you'll think to yourself, wow, like how did that happen? Like how did I end up with so much stability and so much satisfaction and so much fulfillment? Well, that's because you're so much stronger. Look at the Queen of Wands. She's literally on the back of a... Now, is that a tiger or a lion? I mean, I feel like that must be a lion because it's really, really quite powerful fire energy, and usually the fire energy is that's lion energy, but maybe it's a lioness, you know? So it's just this strength and confidence that I see here. Another big life change that I see many of you are going through is that you might even change up your look. So for example, you might get a really drastic haircut, you might change up your outfits, you might lose a lot of weight, or you may gain weight, you know, because obviously I'm doing a general reading here, and what I'm seeing here is that a lot of you are going through a lot of differences and a lot of changes in regards to your looks, which actually, you know what, if that gives you confidence, which I feel like it will for many of you, that's an amazing thing. Some of you, not all of you, might even be getting sort of perhaps even surgery that helps you. So again, this can also be seen as a form of healing, right? So not like... What I mean here is that for some of you, I'm not talking about like cosmetic surgery in that context. I'm talking more so about like actual surgery that is needed in order to like fix something. That can also be seen as healing. Not necessarily like, oh guys, get cosmetic surgery and that's going to heal you. It's more so, oh my gosh, I really need to explain that because that sounds so terrible, the way I phrased it. But I hope some of you guys know what I mean, like actual like medical surgery that some of you do need, that maybe, you know, really allows you to, you know, for example, some of you might not be able to properly breathe and you get proper surgery, or some of you have had maybe problems with certain aspects of your body and you get surgery and it just like really, really feels good and it heals you, right? And it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder. Okay, so I'm talking about that in a more so medical context, but some of you might be getting cosmetic surgery, okay? And of course, that's completely your choice. I'm not saying here that cosmetic surgery is going to heal you, like, you know, I'm just saying that, but I'm saying medical surgery, okay? Medical surgery is something, you know, especially when there's like things wrong with our body and things like that is, you know, something that can heal because it's obviously going to help your body. Anyways, I had to really explain that because I was talking about like looks and things like that, and then suddenly I went into like surgery. But yeah, some of you might be having, you know, perhaps a surgery that really, really helps you. Whether it's, you know, health or cosmetic or whatever, you know, whatever that is. But I'm not trying to say that that would like, you know, anyways, you know what I mean, right? So the Queen of Wands here is to do with your looks, and you do you, okay? You do you with what makes you feel good. But yeah, some of you might be getting like actual like surgery in the sense of it actually fixing some kind of health problem. The Three of Wands here also shows patience as well. So these big life changes come over the course of time. They don't just come all at once. So do keep that in mind. And I think that's really, really important to see here, especially with the star. It's about flow. It's about continuity. There we go. And not necessarily like fast results. But the Ten of Pentacles shows a lot of abundance. So a lot of abundance in regards to your home life, a lot of abundance in regards to personal stability, growth, happiness, money. It comes over the course of time. This also goes in regards to how you feel within yourself as well, your self-confidence and your self-esteem. It happens over the course of time. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so I hope that didn't cause any confusions. I really had to explain myself as well in between. So we've got here seek beauty. So see, we have got an energy here about you taking care of your looks and really seeking beauty, I guess, in that way. So, but this is also, you know, beauty in the spiritual sense as well, where you're really able to take care of yourself and look after yourself. Things like sleep, things like eating well, seeking beauty in nature, seeking beauty in ordinary things. Then we also have here illumination. So this is a really strong energy, strong card, because this here really does show that you are going to find the light in a lot of things. You're going to really grow. You're going to really light up. You know, and illumination is also solar energy. It's the moon's... I was going to say it's the moon's light, but technically the moon's light is the sun's light, right? The sun actually lights up the moon. So that's really interesting, is that solar energy is very powerful, so that allows for growth. So the sun is really on your side. The sun is there to help you. A little bit of vitamin D doesn't hurt, right? So something to keep in mind. Unless you're allergic to sunlight, which some people can be, so I say be careful. Okay, be careful. We have here Crystal magic, creation, dawn, the beginning. I'm telling you, there's this new beginning that's coming your way, especially with the star card from the Ten of Wands, and this is going to allow you to feel literally like a new person who is just so wise and has really got themselves together, but also to a point where you feel happy and very content with the choices and the decisions that you make. So it's obviously a really, really strong energy. And then we have here secret doorway, working with intuition, second sight, opening dimensional doorways. Yeah, see, there's a doorway here that is opening. There are things that are progressing. There are things that are moving in your favor. I mean, I just feel like there is definitely a lot of abundance coming your way, especially with the Ten of Pentacles. But there's also this sense of you finding yourself, really finding yourself. That's a big life change. That's like an epiphany, an epiphany where you finally realize that, wow, this was the answer I was always looking for. That answer really does come from within you, which I think is really significant. So let's go to your charms and letters. Okay, so I'm just going to get the letters out. Now this could spell out life changes. This could be initials. This could be many different things. You've seen a lot of these C's that just came out. When I think of C, I also think of C as in like the sea, especially with the star card. It's this energy of, well, progression, growth, flow, and swimming rather than sinking. Floating rather than sinking. Got H, L, Z, W, L again, N, D, P, V, J, and a Z. I just want to say as well that these letters do have quite a few vowels inside of them, but whatever comes into my hand comes into my hand. So this can very much so be initials. It could also, spell certain things out. It could be things to do with states, or to do with a country, or to do with things like that. So do keep that in mind, but no worries if it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Letters may not always make sense, so just keep that in mind. We have got here a D as well, another one. We've got a C again. So C seems to be a very, very dominant letter, but also when you say C, it reminds me of the actual sea, and sort of also the fact that for some of you this can be there is more fish in the sea, there is more to see, there's more left to see. So things like that. We've also got here X as well. For some of you in regards to love, this could be letting go of someone that you know is clearly unhealthy for you, and this just lifts a whole burden, in so many ways. Again, it could be, X kind of energy, but it could be, sort of healing from that. See, because we've also got the hot air balloon, which is again about letting go of something that actually creates this light energy around you and around your soul. We've got a ring here as well, so it could be to do with love for many of you, or to do with certain commitments that you've had, perhaps with certain family members or friends, people in terms of stability, people that have always been around you, telling you to do certain things. You got here the chef's apron. Well, it's not really a chef's apron, it's like a chef's jacket, right? Chef's shirt. So this really reminds me again of sort of taking power, being in control, being the lead, right? Now that could also resonate with some of you in a more chef-like way. We also have here the third eye chakra energy. So this is really to do with wisdom, detachment, right? Inspiration, knowledge, courage, a higher voice, using your voice. So we see that as a big life change. We also have here the sacral chakra. So this is to do with sensuality. It's to do with monitoring, mentoring, honoring and nourishing yourself, right? And we also have here the base chakra crystal. This is more like a pyramid. Now, the pyramids are actually seen quite a lot in the fiery energy cards. So this is also kind of like the Queen of Wands energy, which we saw earlier on. this to me really goes to show that you are building something so much stronger within yourself in regards to physical stability, security, self-sufficiency, responsibility, and self-worth as well. But also that, yeah, you're really, you're climbing to the top from what I see here. And then you've also got here this, I think it's a helm, correct me if I'm wrong, that you see on like a boat, I guess, or a ship, but you're taking control of the waves. And again, we've got another sea reference as well that's coming through. So that's what we have. That is what we have, group number 1. If this reading helped you, if it gave you lots of clarity, then definitely do let me know in the comment section below. If it resonates, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, click on that little bell notification next to the subscribe button as well if it did resonate, and do take care, stay safe. Yeah, I really, really hope that it helps you, and I hope that you also do very much so take care, and I hope that you also stay safe as well. Alright, so that is your reading. So I'm just going to take everything away. Let's put those in there. Let's put this in here. Let's put those in there. Okay. Take this and this and this and this. All right. Alright, group 2, big life changes coming to you. See what we did there? Not much. Group 2, changes coming to you. Okay, so we're going to have a look. Also, your timestamp was also 22, which let's just talk about lots of those synchronicities with the number 2 as well. So you have chosen this pile right here. You've got this beautiful blue crystal. So just put that right here, and you've also chosen this particular deck. So this is the Serpent and the Peacock Tarot, or the Peacock and the Serpent. No, I think it's the Serpent and the Peacock. Yeah. So let's have a look and see what comes through with tarot, oracle cards, charms, and letters. Big life changes. Let's have a look. Changes. Big life changes. Okay, quite a few cards here, so let's have a look. So we have got here the 10 of Wands. Sorry, I just have to look at these cards in a little bit more detail because they are very intriguing, very interesting cards. You've got the 10 of Wands. You've got here the 8 of Cups. You've got here the 9 of Cups. We have got here the Devil. No, sorry, this, yeah. No, 4 of Pentacles. Hold on a second. Okay, well, we've got the Queen of Pentacles right here. We have the Knight of Pentacles right here. Okay, yeah, so 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. And we've got the 10 of Swords with the 9 of Swords. Wow, okay. Right. Don't click off of this video. I know that so many of you are like, what even are these cards, Moonlight? You know what? Big life changes come in in ways. They do. And, this literally looks like the devil to me. So, it's one of those things where I feel like it's really the Four of Pentacles, but, this deck with some of the cards, it's actually hard to tell which cards are which at some points because it's a newer deck. So there's a Ten of Swords here. Okay, so let's just recap the cards. Ten of Wands, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Swords, so 9 and the 10. So what I see really happening for you is a huge breakthrough, okay? Things are coming to a close in terms of cycles that have been toxic for you, people that have been toxic for you, work-related situations that have been toxic for you, or if you have been in education, and things are a little bit all over the place and you're not exactly always sure as to what's going to happen, those particular worries are coming to a close. And I also feel here as well that for those of you that have been unemployed or you just don't know what's going to happen, those worries will also come to a close. I want to say that the hardest bits that you have gone through have already been endured. Will that make some of you feel better? Hopefully. But the thing here is that for many of you, you may also feel like what's coming. And that's what I'm going to explain here as well, is that the Ten of Wands really does show that your expectations can create your reality. So what I think is really important is to really do some retreating, some soul searching. I feel like a lot of you might go down the path of spirituality in the context of trying to really calm down the mind, the soul, the spirit, and really trying to find yourself. So with that comes, law of attraction. With that comes positivity. With that comes growth. With that also comes peace of mind. And all of that is contributing to how you see things and also what gets put onto your plate by the universe. So the better and more balanced and harmonious the energy here, right, pointing to the Sphinx with good reason, sort of that yin and yang energy, the more flows in your direction. So letting go of things that have really been burdening you, hurting you, frustrating you, making you feel extremely anxious and unworthy is actually going to create room and space for these beautiful abundances to come your way. So what we see here is a lot of progression, right? We have the 8 to the 9 of Cups. Now the 8 of Cups is retreating, it's walking away from things that don't serve you, to then have the 9 of Cups, which is about your wish coming true. So get it in this way and in this context, that holding on to things that don't serve you is literally this sort of devil-like energy, right? When you hold on to things that do not serve you, that do not give you a higher good or a purpose, in fact it drains you and makes you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it is going to take away your happiness and your peace, and it is going to continue to bring this burdening energy and effect into your life. Whereas when you retreat, you take care of yourself, you're attempting to heal, you're attempting to move forward from these things that are perhaps not so good for you. In the long term, it gives you much more satisfaction, much more peace. Look, some of you may feel lonely. However, it is going to give you the kind of peace that you most likely could not experience had you had stayed stuck in some of these situations, right? So I think that's really important to keep in mind, is that this healing, this retreating, this attempt to move forward actually brings more peace in the long term and in the long run. Whereas what we see here with the 9 of Swords is this element here of things that are definitely causing you a lot of anxiety, grief, sadness, frustration, which you can very much so put to an end via healing, via attempting to move forward. For some of you, this moving forward energy is very, very, very difficult. I can understand why. It's not always easy to move forward. It's very easy for a tarot reader or anyone for that matter to say, hey look, you can do this, you can move forward, you can heal, but it's actually so hard to do it. Healing is actually one of the hardest things to do. I feel like it's talked about like it's so easy. It's not easy. It is not. In fact, healing is actually one of the most difficult, most emotional, sometimes the most tumultuous thing that can be done. It's really hard. It's really hard. You got to feel all of those emotions, got to go through the pain, the constant stress. But I feel like a lot of you are healing. Basically, one of the biggest life changes we see here is healing. Okay, and healing is not easy. That's why these cards are not easy. So that's really what I see here, is that a lot of you are going to heal from past troubles, childhood wounds, abuse, frustration, sadness, anxiety, Anxiety is something that, can be lowered. It doesn't always tend to go, but it can definitely bring a change, in the sense that it can get lowered to a point where you do feel different and you feel better. So that's what we see here. Perhaps some of you have been healing from addictions and things like that. So basically, the cards are crazy in the context of being very difficult kind of cards, and that's why I said don't click off. It's not always what it seems. You see like these really difficult cards and you think, oh my god, goodbye. For those of you that stuck around, I give you kudos, like props to you, because it's not easy to always listen to these messages, but actually it's got a silver lining to it. So then there's that, So yes, basically you're healing, and that's the big life change that's happening. This helps you to feel better, helps you to feel brighter, lighter. Queen of Pentacles, to hold on to your energy, to feel good within yourself and the qualities that you hold within yourself. The Knight of Pentacles shows abundance coming your way, fulfillment coming your way, progression coming your way as well, and really gives you this sense of direction, sense of purpose, sense of feeling content and moving towards things that just make you feel very, very uplifted, very, very happy. So opportunities are coming your way with the Knight of Pentacles. It comes when you feel more like the Queen of Pentacles, right? Whether you're male or female. So Queen of Pentacles here is someone who just feels good within themselves, feels happy, feels content, but is also, to a certain degree, also feeling much more healed and very, very happy within themselves and their self-confidence. So that's what we have there, okay? So one of the biggest life changes here is healing. Healing is also going to lead to so much more, but healing is also challenging, as we see on the cards, but it's really going to help. And also this can be sort of finding closure within yourself, especially if you've been searching for closure from someone else. This is you finding that closure from yourself. I know that's really hard to do, but that's one of the biggest things I do see here happening. Okay, let's go to the Oracle cards. Take these. So we have here shift your energy, and that's literally what's happening, right? There is definitely this shifting energy that is happening. Say shift your energy, that's also happening. It's definitely it can feel like a bit of a hurricane, like you can feel like, whoa, that was the calm before the storm. But actually what's happening in many ways is that what you have felt before has been the worst of a lot of things. Healing can sometimes feel worse than what you've been through. However, then there will be a calming energy that comes after it. So you can feel like, wow, I felt like everything I went through was so much calmer sometimes than the healing. But the healing actually is meant to be difficult, right? Because it's meant to be the energy that settles things down. So think about it as, I'm going to give you an analogy. Think about it as you eating something, but that thing gives you food poisoning, right? So in order to get all of that toxicness out, you're not going to feel good, right? You're not going to feel good when that all comes out. It's not going to feel good. I apologize for the analogy, but it's one that really does make sense, right? So that's healing. Healing is all of that coming out of you. It's not pleasant. However, what healing does is it makes you feel better, right? That's the whole purpose of it. Sometimes that happens with medications as well. Like who wants to take medication? It's not always the nicest thing, especially in certain forms. It can be quite painful to take a medication, like an injection, for example, right? But it's what it does is that actually brings the result of things, right? So keep that in mind with healing. So that's why a lot of people back away from healing, because they think to themselves, no, this is even harder than what I have to deal with. But that's not the case, right? So that's really what I see here with shift your energy. Is also note that that's kind of like the analogy, right? You kind of want to make sure that the things get out of your system, even if it's uncomfortable. It's that kind of a vibe. Then we also have open your heart. So open your heart is a really important message, which is to do essentially with opening your heart to yourself. That's Queen of Pentacles energy, by the way. Opening your heart, doing things for yourself, loving yourself, enjoying the things that you do, but also enjoying and being around people that are there to support you. Now, for those of you that feel very lonely, the spirit guides are there for you. Angels are there for you. Universe is there for you. Those of you that believe in God, God is there for you, right? So keep in mind that you are being supported. even if you feel like you are not being supported, you are. And sometimes we feel like the hand, right? Our hand is completely empty. Hand is not empty. Our hand is there to receive, right? Just like in the thumbnail of this video, you had the Ace of Pentacles. Those hands are there to receive the abundance. Even if the hand is empty, the hand is there to receive. That's why I also say in meditations as well, keep your palms facing up, because that signals that you're willing to receive. You're willing to receive healing. You're willing to receive messages. You're willing to receive abundance. You are willing to receive, not closed off to it. You can do this as well, that's totally fine. But yeah, sometimes people get really tense also during meditations and things like that, or just tense, and that tense energy here is also a signal, right? It's a sense of like, no, I'm closed off. That's why, people like are angry, like they get really like this, right? Because they're closed off to that sort of energy of peace. When people are explaining things, oftentimes they're going like this, right? Even with their gestures, shows that they're willing to kind of like receive information. Anywho, let's continue on. We have a card. You can see it in the corner actually. There we go. You just got this one as well. Okay, let's take this one. So we've got here Light the Darkness, Ancestors, Ancestral Line, Generational Shift. So there's something that's breaking here in terms of, well, there's a shift. Look, we see shift and shift. So something's shifting, something is moving. I feel like you might be breaking I wouldn't say a curse, okay? I'm not going to say curse. You're breaking some kind of cycle that's been happening over the course of generations. And I definitely say here that there is definitely light coming into the darkness. So that's something we have sin as well. Healing is also that. And then we've also got mother and daughter. So mothering, teaching, sharing knowledge, nurturing, self-worth. So this is the Queen of Pentacles energy, right? Really strong Queen of Pentacles energy, where I feel like one of the big life changes here is connecting to a mother energy, mother figure. Now, some of you may have a mother figure who is perhaps not around. Some of you may have a mother figure who is around, okay? So keep that in mind. You can also connect with your mother in many ways. So some of you may connect more in the spiritual sense, especially if your mother's not around, or some of you have more difficult relationships with your mother. Okay, so you can connect via prayer, you can connect via meditation, you can connect via thoughts, dreams, signs, synchronicities. For those of you that are around your mother, this can be building the bond between you and your mother. It also helps in terms of healing, and I tell you why. Because our relationship with our parents can actually mimic our relationships with other people. And sometimes, out of no fault of your own, relationships can also not go so well, right? And so that's something that some of you don't have control over. However, what you do have control over is healing that aspect. Healing within your mind, not necessarily going to them and needing to heal it, right? Because not everybody has the ability to do so. But healing it in your mind. Forgiveness, acceptance, things like that. So that's something I see here that can be strengthened. But you're also learning a lot. You're growing a lot. You're healing. You're nurturing yourself, your inner child, which is why I also feel this mother and daughter energy. Now, if you're a male watching this, don't worry, okay? I read energies in tarot, not specifically genders, but this is about nurturing yourself, nurturing, caring for yourself, your childhood self, okay? Especially for those of you that have childhood wounds, this is you nurturing and taking care of that inner child, nurturing your self-worth, your self-confidence, and your self-esteem, okay? So that's what we do have there. Let's go to charms and letters. Okay, so the letters can spell out words. It can also be initials as well. So we've got an R, O, J, M, C, Z, F, P, F, and an S. So there are actually a numerous amount of vowels in here, but the vowels didn't come out, right? So keep that in mind. So this can be more so initials, could even represent certain states or countries, things like that. Could also be, what do you call them? Oh, I forgot it completely. You know, we have like OMG, and it means like, oh my gosh, or oh my god, you know, things like that. You can also have those like words in here. So that's what we have there. Let's go charms. I knew that was going to fall. Okay, so we've got here the bouquet of flowers. So to me, I really feel like this is a gift, okay? A gift of healing, a gift of nourishing yourself, a gift of taking care of yourself. This is also to do with self-love. Now, it's very possible here that someone can also gift you flowers, but I also feel like this is like, again, you healing within yourself, taking care of yourself. There's also mother-like energy here as well. Now, one of the big life changes I also see is that some of you may actually be having a daughter. Like some of you might literally be having a daughter. So, you know, keep that in mind, that is something that I see here as well. This is also about healing, and it's also about a sense of celebration and victory within yourself. Okay, so yeah, I just showed you that card also because you have got flowers there, which really remind me of this bouquet here as well. Okay, so this actually is a intention manifesting item which is available on my Etsy store if anyone would like to purchase it. It is completely handmade, as you can see, and it's also there to manifest love. So it's actually got the love hearts on the back as well. Okay, so charms and letters are available there. I've also got a bee as well here. Okay, and you've got here the sacral chakra charm, which has also got these beautiful yellow hearts on it. So this, you know, this really does represent a sense of inner peace, personal power, self-confidence, self-worth, self-acceptance, trusting, accepting your gut feelings, and also positivity, right? Solar energy is about growth, so you're really growing. And then you've got here this charm which says, so much of me is made from what I've learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. Okay, so some of you might be connecting this also to a mother figure. Now, oh my gosh, sorry, I was going to like cough and then it was like just not going to come out. So a mother figure can also be like a guardian, you know, someone who's taking care of you, especially for those of you that have not grown up with a mother. Because I'm fully aware that not everybody does, right? So that's what I see there. And I also see here, this is also you talking to yourself, like so much of what you've learned, you know, and you taking care of yourself, healing and nurturing your inner child. So this is a big life change. I know that some of you might think like, healing, okay, I guess that was the message, but actually it's a big life change, and it just goes to show you that there's so much, you know, still to come, and that this is actually going to help you in various areas of your life. It's going to help you with nurturing and maintaining other relationships, relationships outside of just, you know, family. This can be relationships with friends, relationships with co-workers, relationships with, you know, people that perhaps you've known for a while, but you thought, not really sure if, you know, I'm meant to be around you. Those kinds of relationships too, you know, so do keep that in mind. It can also, I know this can sound crazy, but it can also really improve your relationship with pets as well. Because they are very sensitive and they can sense things also on a very spiritual level. And that's something that I have definitely recognized and realized over time, is that the more you feel within yourself, like they can also pick up on that too. So keep that in mind, keep that in mind. So that is what we have there, just as I took a little sip of water. Okay, for you, big life changes coming to you, group number 2. It's all about balance. It's balance, harmony, you know, it's coming. So this is your reading. Take care, stay safe. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course intention items which are on Etsy. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you all very, very soon. Alright, and if you have subscribed, do click on the little bell notification as well if you haven't already. Okay, take care everyone. I'll see you all very soon. We're just going to move to group number 3 now, and I will take these away. Okay, so do 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 do. Do 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 do. Put this here. All right, group number 3, big life changes coming to you. You have chosen this beautiful pile with this absolutely stunning gold pyrite crystal. Just look, stunning, stunning. We're going to put it right there. Okay, so this is the Golden Universal deck. Your theme is very golden, I have to say, so it's beautiful, and let's take a look. Big life changes coming to you. We're going to look at oracle cards, we're going to look at charms, letters, and everything else in between, for sure. So let's have a look, starting with the tarot. Big life changes. Is everybody healing? Is that something that's happening here in terms of the big life changes? I mean, I don't want to spoil the other groups, but I feel like it just all makes sense now. Something's happening here. Something is happening. There's a big synchronicity between all 3 of the groups. And I don't know what else to say about that, but oh wow. Okay, so I would also say here as well, group number 3, is that if you were drawn to any of the other groups and you found it a really hard decision between this one and the other 3, totally check out the other readings as well if you wanted to. Okay, you don't have to, because I'm going to give you exactly what is written here, not written here, but shown here with your reading right here. But we do have the 7 of Swords. Don't click off of this video. I know you're tempted. People tend to feel very tempted when they see cards like that, but actually we've got some really strong messages coming through here for some big life changes. You've got the High Priestess, you've got the Page of Cups, you've got the 9 of Swords, you've got the Sun, the Queen of Wands, 6 of Swords, 8 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. There is a victory here that I pick up. So a big life change here is definitely going to be a big awakening, okay? A big awakening with the Sun. Now, the Sun is solar energy, and the Sun is all about growth. It is about prosperity. It's about inner peace, personal power, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-acceptance, trusting, accepting our gut feelings. A big life change here is that you're going to start to trust your gut, and that goes with the High Priestess. Okay, so when you start to trust your gut and your gut feelings, and you start to make some judgments based on how energy is towards you. So for example, you might come across a person, you might go, I'm not really sure about this energy, I'm not really sure about this person, like they just ring alarm bells. Well, when you feel that energy, I feel like you're going to trust it, and guess what's going to happen? You are going to realize that you were right. And so I feel like one of the big life changes here is that some of you may have already felt this actually, and you may have already dealt with it where you thought like, this doesn't seem quite right, and then it actually ends up not being very right. So your gut and your intuition is correct. And this is a big life change in the sense that when you start to judge your own judgment, when you start to trust your own judgment, or actually, when you start to judge, kind of things around you in a way where I'm not saying that you're going to judge other people and really put them down or anything like that. We as human beings do actually judge things all the time. For example, if someone's driving a car, they're going to judge how they back out of a parking space, or how certain things line up, or how certain things happen. We do that, but I know that when people talk about judgment, they talk about it in a more sort of harsh, critical way. I'm not saying that you're going to judge people like that. Just keep in mind, I'm just talking more so in the perspective of things, right? So when you see things, let's just put it that way, when you see things, you will really, I feel, believe things, right? You will not continue to give opportunities to people that constantly betray your trust and things like that. So that's a big life change in the sense that you can avoid a lot of horrible situations, a lot of situations that you don't need to be in. That's something that I see here. I see a lot of you also getting into meditation because you may be feeling a ton of anxiety, stress. You may also be feeling not so certain about your path and where you're going. Some of you may feel very confused. The 9 of Swords here definitely shows a lot of stress and anxiety. So I definitely say the High Priestess is there on your side, okay? The High Priestess here is showing that a spiritual path will be a big, big life change. Spirituality helps things all around. It helps things in the mental sense of things, the emotional sense of things, social, financial, physical, and also there was another one I was going to mention, but I forgot it. Emotional, physical, mental. Yeah, no, I said mental, right? Anyways, it helps things all around, right? So when you meditate or when you are on a spiritual path, you are really helping a lot of things in terms of energy, because not only are you also then starting to heal yourself, but you're also starting to understand more of yourself. And when you understand more of yourself and you understand more of your shadow self as well, that's really helping a lot of growth to happen. So, big life changes are happening in the sense where the Seven of Swords here shows that some of you, I'm just saying this, some of you really, really have avoided and can avoid as well being scammed, being around people that are really not good for you, people that say one thing, do another, people that lie, steal, and cheat. And essentially, your gut is warning you, right? Your gut is warning you. It's saying, hey, listen to me a little bit more often. If you listen to me a bit more often, you can avoid the Seven of Swords, which then leads to the Eight of Swords, which then leads to the Nine of Swords. You can avoid this progression of it happening constantly. So the Six of Swords is like, well, you don't have to follow through from the 6 to the 7 to the 8 to the 9. You could instead follow through with a bit more of a spiritual path. And look, spiritual paths are not always easy, okay? I will say this as well. It's just because you follow a spiritual path doesn't mean that your life suddenly just is like 100% perfect and everything's perfect. But yes, you can avoid certain issues, you can avoid certain problems. And that's one thing that I think is really important to keep in mind, is that you can avoid certain things, but you won't always avoid everything, okay? Because there are certain things in everybody's life that are destined and fated to happen. So I want you to know that. However, you can avoid certain things that are also not good. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of healing is happening here, things from childhood, for example, childhood wounds, feeling invisible, feeling unheard of, unseen, or being treated very, very differently. So the Sun here shows a lot of healing, a lot of growth. I see a lot of you taking on board a spiritual practice or a spiritual path, which is really going to help to strengthen a lot of that inner confidence within yourself. Some of you might be changing up your looks, you might be cutting your hair, you might be dressing differently, you might be losing weight, gaining weight, things like that I really do see here, especially with the Queen of Wands. So this is more so focused on sort of physical beauty and the outside, whereas the inside here is the High Priestess, which is to do with the inner beauty and the spiritual energy and the positivity of the healing that's happening here. That's the inner work, which is really going to help you to have more of a breakthrough than get stuck in a cycle which causes more stress and anxiety and more of this stuck energy, right? It gives you more of this victory, breakthrough, fulfillment, joy, progression. It gives you more of that energy, which I think is quite significant. So it gives you so much more of that, and I think that that's really quite important to keep in mind. So there's much more of that, and I think that actually it's quite positive in that sense, that is something that we do see here. So obviously that's quite significant and obviously very important. So yes, that is what we have right there. So now let's go to your charms and your letters. So in terms of big life changes, a lot of healing. I feel also one of the big life changes here is a spiritual path. And I also feel like many of you are going to listen to your gut and your intuition, and you're going to avoid a lot of situations that could have unfolded, which could have really caused a lot of this, a lot of this, a lot of this, and a lot of this. But actually, you'll avoid it. So that's what we see there. Okay, so let's go to your charms and your letters. So we've got, actually, just before we go to charms and letters, let's do the oracle cards. Trust your own understanding. Isn't that literally what we just spoke about? That's the card that just came out. Trust your own understanding. So there you go. Trust your gut. Let's take the bottom card here. Clear endeavour. Okay, so there's a definite path that you're going down, which we see here, and it is very progressive. I feel like a lot of this is to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your gut, to trust yourself. In that sense and in that context, things are really going to go and flow in your favour. Clear endeavour is also a sense of victory here with the Ace of Swords. Trust your own judgment. I think it's really important. Okay, so we have here all of your cards. We have here the Merlin. Kind of reminds me of the Hermit, right? Hermit vibes. Guidance, mentorship, guidance, teacher of the old ways. So, you know, it's really interesting. I read Guidance twice, and my channel is called Moonlight Guidance. I'm also a Virgo. Like, you know, these things kind of, like, sometimes they just sync up a little bit. Anywho, and obviously you're watching this reading and it's giving you some form of guidance, right? I was just like, huh? Like, what is this all pointing towards? So this just goes to show here that you're learning, you're growing, you are progressing forward. Some of you might be undertaking some kind of, like, you might be being mentored, you might be getting guidance from other people. I mean, you know, you are here at this channel, so I am guiding you, so I guess that does make sense as well. Teacher of the old ways, so you might be going to a guru or someone who is teaching perhaps, you know, some traditions or things like that. I do see here, but also listening to yourself, right? Listening to what your ancestors set up for you, which is, I guess, in many ways yourself yourself and your intuition. Okay, and we have here Barnabas and the Prince. So we've got here adventures, discovery, travel, meeting, destiny. So all of this leads you to better and bigger things, right? Adventure, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of confidence, discovery, to discover and find new things, travel, meeting destiny, rather than sort of getting stuck in a specific cycle. So that's what we have there. Let's go to your charms. So this is letters. These could be words that spell out, wow, where am I going with this? Okay, let's start that again. These are letters that could spell out words for your reading. Okay, so big life changes, or it could very much so be the initials of certain people. There we go, that makes so much more sense. Okay, so we have a C, an E, a J, a B, Q, A, E, F. We have a B, right? As in B-E-E. We also have Q and A. Like, I think that's interesting. Q-A. Like maybe question and answer. We have here bed, right? We do have a bed in the Nine of Swords as well. Like some of you, I feel like that's a big life change, is that some of you might just be feeling really stuck, and here you are kind of moving through that. You've also got bead, got beads, got E-Z-C-I-A, CIA, okay. Some of you might do some research that sort of leads somewhere. You also got feed as well, F-E-E-D. Perhaps that's a news feed, notification feed, or like literally feed as in feeding food, like, you know. So you'll find a lot more, I think, words, right? Or initials and ways that they resonate with you. So do let me know in the comment section below if you feel comfortable sharing that, of course. Let's go to charms. Okay, you got a H as well. Head. Another thing. Head is also again to do with like knowledge and learning and growing. We've also got here the marker, so this can also indicate quite a bit of traveling that can come up for you as well as time progresses, because that's something we saw here as well with the Barnabas and the Prince, is travel and discovery, meetings. We've got here the heart as well, so this can also indicate you opening up your heart and also listening to your gut and your instinct and putting yourself first. You've got here the base chakra, or the root chakra, lollipop stick, which is to do with physical stability, security, self-sufficiency and responsibility for yourself, which is much more of your focus. We have here this little parrot as well. So again, I feel like this is also like self-care towards yourself, looking after yourself, communicating to yourself. You know how parrots talk to themselves? Yeah, that kind of vibe. Well, do they talk to us or do they talk to themselves? My parrot does both. You know, it's a vibe where I feel like communication here is quite strong, where you're really communicating with yourself, you're communicating with others, and then you've also got here Cupid as well. So there can be a change here coming in love as well, and that's something that we do pick up. So that's pretty fascinating, I will say. So this is your reading, group number 3. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course intention items, which are on Etsy. Everything is always listed down below as well. And yes, also the charms and the letters and everything like that is also on Etsy as well, so do check that out if you're interested. And I hope that you all stay safe, and I hope that you're all doing well. And yeah, I will see you all very, very soon, but don't forget to subscribe, and if you do subscribe, click on that little bell notification next to the subscribe button as well. All right, take care everyone. Bye.